Hey YouTube! Welcome back to my channel. I am Artsume Shae, if you didn't know already, and today is the day of love. And it is Valentine's Day, and I knew that this video was going to come out on Valentine's Day, so I have maybe one of the channel's first themed episodes, and that's pretty cool. So I've been able to now have this video come out, and it's just in time. So if you are, watching this video on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm mad that you didn't ask me to be your Valentine, so I don't know what that's about, but I will ask you to be my Valentine today. And so yeah, today, since I talk and yap so much about media and different forms of it, I thought I would do something fun today, and that is to talk about my list of my favorite ships in media, and that being, just honestly ships that not necessarily canonical, but also canon ships that have really just rewired my brain chemistry. So if that is of interest to you, then definitely stick around for the video and like the video if you feel so inclined to, and also subscribe to the channel, because as someone who likes storytelling and writing and art and whatnot, those are all the types of things that you can find here. So if you subscribe to the channel and you're not already, then you will be my Valentines. And then of course, one like on the video is one Valentine. Yeah, I don't know why it took me forever to figure that out in my brain. Anyway, so yes, today I will be going through, it's not a tier list, so I do want to let you guys know that, not a tier list, but just different ships that have really made me feel so cozy, that these are ships that have made me feel something, and that's very hard to do for a Capricorn. I'm just joking. I am actually very, very, very empathic, so I feel everything. But for me, these are things that I've watched on TV and have just been like, So there's gonna be a lot of that, because as I'm going through these things, I'm just kind of remembering the vibes. Now, also I want to say, this is not necessarily a review, a critical look at these different ships, because I did not rewatch any of this media before filming this. So I'm really just going off of vibes. I'm going off of the way these things made me feel and what I remember from it, even if it is a misremembering, because I find that misrememberings sometimes are what we hold on to, other than like accurate facts of how something went. So it's like those memories are something that we have morphed into being just something very unique to us. So I would say that most of my description of these ships are very accurate, but at the same time, if it's not, then don't hate me. So like I said, these are in no particular order, but it's just something for me to talk about. I'm gonna start with the first one, because I'm gonna go more in chronological order. So these are according to at what age throughout time I actually consumed this story. So the first one I'm going to start with is going to be so it was 1997. I may have watched it. It was probably one of those, because we owned it on VHS. So it was probably one of those movies where I actually watched it multiple times throughout the years. But yes, first ship is going to be Anastasia and Dimitri from the 1997 movie Anastasia. And this movie was the first introduction, at least first introduction for me cognitively of the, you know, enemies to lovers trope. And it was just so done in a way that he really set the standard, okay? He set the standard. I don't think any other man has been able to like keep up with reach that standard. Now, of course, there are other like great depictions of it as well. Like I think, you know, Tuxedo Mask, when it comes down to that, like Mamoru, that also for me, it's kind of a given. Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask is not on my list, but that's not because I did not enjoy that one. That was purely because that's baseline. That's setting the base level. So that's one of the earliest medias that I consumed that had those two in it, and they were a great ship. But specifically going back to Dimitri and Anastasia, they had this very playful banter that even if they were like together from the start of the movie, it's not something that is so different from like maybe a couple who's been dating for like, or have been together for a really long time. It's not different from like a type of banter that they would have. So even from the get-go, you know, they're like biting at each other, whatnot. But there is this yearning that develops between them that, oh my God, the yearning between them is just, it is historic, because as they become closer and closer together, they are yearning, but then at the same time, they are resisting. They are actively resisting one another. Oh my gosh, that is just, it's pure. It's so pure. I think about the scene where they're on the ship, actually going to the destination. I think they're going to Paris. That's where it was. So they're on the boat going to Paris, and they're like trying to teach her how to be a proper duchess, you know, My Fair Lady style. And they're teaching her how to dance, and the sun is setting, and they're dancing around, and they're having fun, because now they're in the friendship phase. They were enemies, they became friends, and now they're on their way to lovers. And so they're playfully having a ball. The guy who's with them, he's singing this song. It's filled with romance and such. And then they stop, and he's like awkward, and he doesn't have the right words to say, because there's this part where he's like, oh, we're getting really dizzy. It's probably because of the dancing. We should stop. And then she's like, we have stopped, which implies that he's dizzy from love. Oh my gosh. And so yes, that is just something that and then it gets to a point that they're kind of like very like lost in each other's eyes. And then it gets to a point where they are like about to kiss. They are about to be endgame. And, you know, she's like kind of closing her eyes, ready to lean in. He's leaning in, but then he restrains himself. He stops himself, and he pats her hand. He's like, I think you're gonna blow him away, or something like that. And it's just like, oh my gosh, the yearning. And I think that's the part about it, that this kind of, not only is it them that being enemies to lovers, but it's also them being from two different worlds, because, you know, she is the heir to the throne. He is the kind of like peasant boy. I think he was like the housekeeper's son or something like that. So he's like, we are from different worlds. So he prevents himself from even entertaining the thought that they can be together, even though he has such a desire for her. So anyway, yeah, that is he tucks in that emotion, but at the same time, I think them being from two different worlds in a way also implies the what's that trope? I guess you could say unrequited love, but basically, you know, this concept that, you know, she would only be happy with someone of her high status, her high level, and I could never do for her what someone else could do, especially when it comes down to that person's affluence and status. But yeah, that scene is really just like the perfect peak of their entire romancing, and that's why that is probably one of the earliest ships that I have experienced. Moving down the line, the next ship that really was something that was a deep want for me that I know could never happen. I know that this would never be the case, and it's unfortunate, but I've had to come to peace with that, is the non-canonical shipping of Katara and Zuko. Yes, I am one of those people. So if you really, I want us all to kind of like, there's two ways to think about it. There's the context of the show and when it came out, and then there is the standalone story. The dialogue and character development, in my opinion, moves in a way that would make them a really good pairing. You know, you've got kind of already this thematic opposites attract, fire, ice. That is something that, while yes, some may say is a bit some may say it's a bit on the nose, I feel like it's something that if the show maybe came out now, they wouldn't, you know, be afraid of it. Also coming to mind with them both having to grapple with the loss of their mother, the loss of their maternal figure, the figure in their life that, because, you know, of Katara having that motherly figure taken away from her, has changed her character. So has it changed Zuko's character. In a way, it's changed them in different ways, but it kind of makes it where if they would be able to come together, have this kind of yin and yang, where she has this maturity about her and he has I don't know what he has, trauma. I mean, they both have trauma, but I mean, I don't really think he became a better person because of the loss of his mom. But that could be also the thing that I guess in the most stripped down way makes it where the two of them, that feels a little codependent, but regardless, I mean, ships aren't perfect. But I do think that Zuko and Katara, they can have a type of chemistry that brings them together through that shared trauma, but then also kind of pull out from one another parts of themselves that allows them to heal. And also they're just really cute together. I don't know. I've seen plenty of fan art of them that, so much so, I've seen plenty of fan art where I even decided that, you know, me and my partner would cosplay as Katara and Zuko based off of this fan art. That's how much I really loved it. So, like I said, they're not canonical, but I think that the world of, you know, fan fiction and Tumblr and everything like that, they really kind of framed their characters together in a way that was very satisfying. But of course, you know, I realize the context of the show. The context of the show is basically where you have, so first off, the show came out originally on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, while it did have a pretty gender neutral, it more leaned to the side of boys at the time. Most of the demographic, you know, you think about slime and like the gross stuff, that was more leaning on boy audiences. So you make a male main character that is a 12-year-old boy, that is basically a self-insert for most of the people who are watching this. And then of course you have Katara, who is a great self-insert for most of the girls who are watching this. So you couple that together, and I feel like in a way the show, being what it was, had to make it where Aang got the girl in the end. So I'm not surprised that, you know, the producers of the show, and even to some extent the writers, even though I've seen in videos before that the writers have said and acknowledged the ship fandom, but did not basically say that it could ever be the case. So I understand that the show had a demographic where that's kind of what would have inevitably happened, but one could dream. The next ship is going to be from the hit comedy show of its time, the perfect mid-2000s hipster Tumblr manic pixie dream girl core, which is New Girl. New Girl, that's such a show of its time, because every show has like this, you know, young people living in the city style TV show. You know, you've got Friends, In Living Color, all these shows where you've got these like 25 and under, where they're trying to figure out their life. And at the time, the show of that era for millennials specifically was New Girl. New Girl, that was just like totally my comfort show. I really remember it more for its earlier seasons, because I think because the show had to kind of be on for so long, certain plot points kind of started to lose their zest towards the end. So the initial core cast that had like the main relationship that was kind of the whole will they won't they was Nick and Jess. So Jessica Day was the sunshine and Nick was the grump. And that grumpy and sunshine trope is a lot of fun. I really think that it's something that a lot of people really enjoy, myself included. You know, you've got her who likes crocheting and colors, and she's optimistic, almost to a fault. And then you've got Nick, who doesn't have his life together, and he's kind of in a way like blaming all the external forces out on the world for that. So pessimist, optimist pairing, which is perfect because there's a lot of things that they can kind of teach one another. You know, he can teach her to be a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realist, and she allows him to kind of like, you know, kind of open him up, take him out of his shell a little bit more. And I also think it's nice because they established their potential very early on. They don't really do this thing where they like make it super duper obvious, oh, these two are going to be together. I remember in episode 1 when Jess was trying to, you know, get out and, you know, put herself out there, go on dates again because she just got into a breakup, and she goes to the date, the guy blows her off and is going to this club, and Nick and the guys see that, you know, he stood her up, so they go and do something really nice for her to cheer her up. And it's not implied that this is happening because he's romantically interested in her, because she just got out of a breakup. He also has old wounds from a relationship, so it's not super obvious. What it does establish, though, it establishes his character. It establishes that even with the hard exterior, he is still somebody who has character and who has morals, and he's gonna do the right thing. So when it comes down to that guy who stood her up, he's like, no, that's not something that a kind human being would do. So there's that. And then of course there is this friendship element that develops. You know, he kind of teases her for some of the things that she does, and she teases him back. There's this, you know, very cute and funny banter that the two have developing over the course of the seasons, and it starts to culminate in this like, oh, like, this is someone who I feel very safe with. This is someone who is very protective, and seeing them, even though I rooted for her to, you know, start dating this guy, why is it that now I feel a little empty because she is with somebody else? So those are the types of like kind of slow burn that I really, really loved about their relationship, even to the point where then we finally got the elevator scene. We finally got the confession of attraction. And I think everybody, it's like that scene where you've got an entire sports bar of people and then the thing flashes up on the screen and everybody's like cheering. That was all of us who are watching New Girl when it was coming out, and you see that he grabs her and kisses her in that elevator. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It was bliss. It was happiness, because that's the thing about their scene and about a lot of these different ships, is that you have this slow burn, you have this slow gratification, or slow build up to the eventual gratification of the two pairing up. Hey, post-recording Shae, I completely misremembered, and I said I was going to do this, but I confused Nick and Jess's first kiss with Jess kissing Justin Long's character in the elevator. Nick and Jess don't kiss in the elevator until like the last season, I think, but their original kiss, their first kiss, was in the loft. But yeah, I just wanted to not make it seem like I'm a fake fan. But yeah, I just now remembered that. So letting y'all know there is a difference, and their first kiss is magical. And then when they do pair up, it's all the more satisfying because we have done the labor to get to this point. And yeah, the two of them, even before they officially got together, because I can comment on how the show went after they did get together, and I don't really think they handled it as well. Just from my vague remembering, I feel like the show had more seasons involved, so because of that, they couldn't let them be endgame immediately. I think they end up breaking up and at some point, and then they don't get back together until like the very end of the series. So I do feel like they could have handled their relationship before that, or handled their relationship after that a little better. But before they actually do become a pair, I just enjoyed watching them on the screen together. I just enjoyed their little misadventures and whatnot. I remember there was this episode where Jess was teaching an adult writing class, and Nick stumbled upon one of the stories that her students wrote, and he's reading it and he's like, this guy wants to kill you. He was like, this guy sounds insane, because he keeps talking about, you know, how he's gonna kill this deer with giant eyes, and of course Jess has humongous blue eyes. So then they go to investigate and they end up getting stuck in the guy's garage or something. But I say that because that little adventure, that little moment that they had together of him being hyper protective of Jess, but not because of the reasons he thinks, is just something that throughout the story was something so enjoyable to watch, and enjoyable to watch them together. All right, and so the last ship on this list, the more recent and also I would say equally as lasting ship that I have always felt it could not be canon, but because it could not be canon makes it even more gratifying in my mind. I don't know if that makes sense. But that is the non-canonical ship between Faye and Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Now, what you see in the show is the perfect priming for an enemies to lovers storyline. They bicker, they fight, they don't see eye to eye in most situations. But I think that there is something to also see when you look a little deeper, and that is that there is a protection and a sincerity that they have for one another that when things are all crazy and chaotic, you don't really see. It's not until the quiet moments that you start to see them kind of meet eye to eye with one another. So firstly, you have forced proximity. They both live on this, medium-sized ship. So they're in the same areas with one another, day in and day out. Roommates, and also shared trauma, because all the stuff that they have going on is crazy and chaotic. So those three things, in my opinion, are the perfect brew when it comes down to a romantic relationship in fiction. So that's just something that there are more nuances when it comes down to the respect and mutual understanding that they have for one another. I feel like Faye develops, I don't know if it's a codependency, but she develops this kind of anxiety for whenever Spike goes and impulsively does a mission. Like if he's out doing something that could result in him passing, she is genuinely concerned for his well-being. Of course, even early on, whenever he is has flown out of the window with one of his earlier fights with Vicious, she is helping nurse him back to health. She does have this kind of kindness and this nurturing side to her that I feel comes out more when it comes down to the smaller, more quiet moments. But it's kind of like she has to put up this facade for others that allows her to protect herself to prevent her from getting hurt. Also, I find it so interesting that it's not picked up on, but I feel like Spike has these disarming moments of sincerity. He has these disarming moments of no BS, just plain English, outside of the quips and outside of him, being sassy or sarcastic. He has some pretty big, knowledge drops. I think that they keep it real with each other. They're not afraid to shield or hide how they feel about different things, but I think that's something that really builds on an authentic partnership with one another. Like I said, it's obviously not too heavy-handed, or even I don't even think that the writers of the show considered that to be a thought. But at the same time, I feel like every character has a bond or in relationship with one another. You know, whether it's Spike and Jet, Jet and Edward, Edward and Faye. Everyone has this relationship with one another that is, you know, we are allowed to dissect those relationships. You know, I think with, like, for example, Jet and Edward, Jet, you know, he never had the chance to have a family. He never had a chance because, you know, he was this, you know, straight-laced cop who, you know, made sure to do everything by the book. And, you know, he had a lover, and he never had the ability to get together and have a family, do kind of like the conventional thing. So sometimes I feel like I see him with Edward, and he has this like nurturing paternal energy when it comes down to handling them. You know, obviously they're a kid, but they're a kid who has gotten into, you know, a scenario where they're now roaming the galaxy with 3 strangers. So it's like, it feels like Jet kind of gives Edward this grounding that they never would have had if, you know, Edward didn't stumble upon the Bebop. So I think, you know, even though it's not canon that Faye and Spike could end up together, I think as we are watching it, that show is so open-ended that there could have been a possible, you know, plot line where they could end up together. I totally see the makings up of a relationship between them. And that's even to be said with the fact that, you know, Spike is obviously pining over his former lover. He's obviously still, you know, hung up on her, but I think that just makes it even more dramatic. Even more dramatic and even more messy. Some more honorable mentions, I would probably say Blackbeard and Steve Bonnet from Our Flag Means Death. Then also Rey and Kylo. Yes, I was a Rilo. I think it had more to do with the fact that they really dropped the ball with that Star Wars trilogy, but I think that my headcanon is allowed to exist. And believe me, I practically rewrote how that entire trilogy could have gone in my mind, and that is the version that I choose to acknowledge. Also, Yuki and Itsuromi from Signs of Affection, which I heard is not getting another season, which I find really sad because I liked season 1. I feel like if that's the case, I'm probably gonna have to start reading the manga. So I will definitely consider that. So those are the ships that rewired my brain chemistry. I hope that you enjoyed them. And my, you know, long-winded explanation on why they were amazing, even if they weren't canon. But if you did like this video, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my chatter as far as comics, media, storytelling, or art are concerned. Those are all of the things that I enjoy. But once again, I hope that all of you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether it's the love you have for your partner, your friend, your family, and more importantly, yourself. Overall, I think that this is just, I like Valentine's Day. I think it's a time to just be more mindful and present about the love that we share for one another. And like I said, that's regardless of if you are paired or not. So in the comments, I would love to hear what your favorite ships are of all time. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be multiple of them. And I don't know, I might do another one because for me, I feel like these were only the tip of the iceberg. I was like, I know that there's more of them, so I may try to come up with an updated list of some more ships that I really enjoy. But I'd love to hear more about your favorite ships in the comments down below. But yes, I enjoyed this time with you all. I hope that you did too. That's gonna be all from me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!